Hey, it's the 40-watt garage. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back. Today's segment is going to detail the last few steps needed to complete the brake upgrade on my Factory 5 Mark IV Roadster. Then we're going to get into a tear down of my original base Mustang front brake calipers and verify or discover the reason why the pistons were sticking or seizing. Fast forward to the next day. I just completed installing all the new parts on the passenger side of the car. One thing I didn't film yesterday was the driver's side, when I went to remove the bleeder screw and coat it with some anti-seize compound. It's something I like to do, especially on bleeder screws. Put a little anti-seize or chassis grease on it. That way they won't seize in the piston or in the caliper. You can get them out. You don't break them off in there. Plus, it also helps when you're bleeding the brakes. That grease on the threads reduces the amount of air that you pull past the threads if you're using a vacuum bleeder. This was interesting though, and it happened on the driver's side. Let's see if it happens on the passenger side. So we'll crack the bleeder loose. And it is out. I'm going to coat the threads with some anti-seize compound. I have not finished coating or painting the threads with anti-seize. And we have fluid coming out of the bleeder port. So this caliper has gravity bled itself in that amount of time. That's what happened on the other side. Put the bleeder back in. And then I'm going to neutralize that fluid real quick so it doesn't ruin my fresh paint. I am going to pull a vacuum on this fitting, ensure that I've got fluid completely through the system. For a more detailed explanation of how to do this procedure, please look at my previous video series when I rebuilt the master cylinders and rebled the system. But just for assurances, I'm going to pull some fluid through, then I know that there's no air pockets in the system. So we'll crack the bleeder fitting open, pull a vacuum, and if we look right here, we're already getting fluid. I'm going to bet that a ton of those bubbles are either air sucking past the rubber nipple and possibly some sucking past the threads. But that is after the brake system, so we can be assured that it's clean, air-free fluid in the caliper. So I'm going to let this draw for a while and then check my reservoir level, top it off if necessary, and then we'll be done. Both sides of the car are now finished. The brakes have been bled, and now it's just time to retorque and put the center caps back on. Got the torque wrench set to 95 foot-pounds, and standard procedure is do it in the star pattern. And the job is complete. Here's an outlay of the tools that I needed to do this conversion. The exceptions would be a way to get the car up in the air and hold it safely to work underneath. But this is the parts and tools that I used to do the job. We got the paint that I used to paint the calipers, some brake cleaner spray, assorted scrub brushes, 3/8 drive ratchet extension, universal 12 mil and 14 mil socket, small little screwdriver, some needle nose pliers, 12 mil 1/2 inch drive, 3/4 1/2 inch drive, 14, 12, and 11 millimeter combination wrenches, breaker bar, torque wrench, vacuum bleeder kit, and anti-seize compound. These are my original brake calipers, the base Mustang units, the PBR type. And I have not done anything to them. This is initial inspection. And I'm looking at these dust boots around the pistons. And if you look at this one, which is left side or driver's side, I have not touched these. But if you look, hopefully the camera will pick this up, the dust boot has come out of its groove on both pistons. Hopefully that shows up. Now, it's been many years since these were originally installed. I don't know if I missed this on original installation or they popped out sometime in the last several years. But that is definitely a pathway for contaminants to get in between the piston and bore. So I'm going to pull these dust seals off and we'll go a little further in the inspection. All right, I've got a couple of my old brake pads here. I'm going to put one against the pistons, put an old towel in here, and cover them up. And I'm going to try to blow the pistons out of the bores with some compressed air. You really want to cover this up and be careful because they can blow out of there with surprising force and you don't want your fingers in between. So let's okay, that one is loose. It's just being held in by the dust boot. This one is also loose, but it is stuck quite a bit. Okay, there it's out. From the looks of this dust seal, that thing has not been in the groove for a long time. It's deformed, it's taken a set in that shape. Same with this one. Got the pistons cleaned up, and both of them look very similar. What's interesting is this is the area that was in the bore, and then you can see the wear area, or where the piston stroke was, and there's a little bit of, you can see some witness marks. but nothing fails the fingernail test, which is, you know, like 2,000ths or something. It's more cosmetic than anything. There's no scratching, there's no gouging on either of the bores. Then I don't know if the camera picks it up or not, but you can kind of see some sparkles. So this might be a sintered type material, has metallic something embedded in it. You get the pistons out of the passenger side caliper now. Use the same procedure. We'll get a towel in here. Get an old brake pad against the pistons. Gonna make a little blast shield, for lack of a better term. And some compressed air. And they are loose. Make a scribe mark. So we know which one goes where. The dust boots on this one are intact. They were in the groove completely the entire tour of duty. There's no rips or tears. And we'll just let that sit, clean up the pistons, take some measurements. Got the driver's side caliper with the pistons removed, and you can see there's some fluid residue down on the bottoms, but what I'm more concerned with is some of the crud that's in there. Got a cotton swab. You can see some of the particles. Some of this stuff, it doesn't look like dirt or crud, but it kind of looks like broken down brake fluid, kind of a gelatinous kind of goo. I'm going to clean these up, get that residue out of there, and inspect these bores for scoring or damage. I really hope this shows up on camera. This is the passenger caliper, and there is just a ton of this kind of gelatinous goo, or I'm assuming it's degraded brake fluid in one of the bores. Not so much the other, but the one on the input side that has the port for your brake pipe. But there is just a ton of this gunk in here. If that's degraded brake fluid or what, combination of the degraded rubber from my reservoir hoses. So I'm going to guess that in combination with the known swelling of the phenolic pistons, and then you add some of this gunk in there, I would guess that it would be no wonder that the pistons wouldn't stick. So I'm going to clean this thing out, take some measurements, and we'll do some comparison. I was able to borrow a mic and snap gauges from a buddy of mine, and I took some measurements of these parts. The calipers cleaned up. There is no evidence of scoring, pitting, corrosion, anything in the bores. These could be rebuilt and put back into service. The metric number that they're advertised as is 45 millimeter. Conversion to inch, that comes out 1.772 in diameter. So just keep the 772 in your mind. I measured in about 1/4 inch steps throughout the bore, and both calipers, all 4 holes, mic out to 0.773, 7735, 774. So they've already got 1/1000th to 1/1000th clearance or oversize in each of those bores. The pistons are a different story. Down at the base, they all mic out to about 773. One of them is 774 plus a little bit. And again, same 1/4 inch steps along the length of the piston. I'm running into numbers like 7735, 774, 774 plus a couple of tenths, 7745. So the pistons are already 1/1000th or 2/1000th plus over the 45 millimeter spec, or the 772 on the nuts number. So yes, these things must swell, and you can understand why they would get stuck in the bores. All of the inherent clearance that's been machined into the calipers is taken up by the swelling of the pistons, and then the compression of the oil seal in the bore is going to compound the problem. So it's, at least with my measurements, it's not a myth. These things are either manufactured too big or they swell up too big. That brings us to the end of this video series. The numbers don't lie. The micrometer doesn't lie. There is a problem with piston swell on these base Mustang phenolic resin pistons with the PBR style calipers. I would give serious consideration to upgrading your car to the Cobra/Bullet spec brake system. It is a truly painless bolt-on. It does not take hardly any time at all. The stuff just bolts on, and you've got the added benefit of the larger brakes. Well, thanks for sticking with me and following along on this video series. I hope it answers some questions. I hope it helps you out, and we'll see you on the next series.